Flashing lights, neon glow. Back when nights had a show. Horror tales, midnight fights. Living through those rapid nights. Garrett's tunes spin and play. Dead Pit boys lead the way. VHS line the walls. Physical media calls. Oh, those rapid nights we love. Talking movies, feeling tough. Nostalgia in every bite. Dancing through that neon light. Every scream, every shout. Spooky tales, no doubt. Friends around laughing loud. We were young and feeling proud. Old school vibes in the air. Those days we did not care. Days and nights full of charm. Treasured moments arm in arm. Oh, those rapid nights we love. Talking movies, feeling tough. Nostalgia in every bite. Dancing through that neon light.
Oh, baby.
What a rush.
Guys, welcome to Rad Up All Night. And where else are we tonight?
We're at the Dead Pit Studios, and man, I mean, I'm here now, but the storms. Garrett and I were recording a podcast a little bit earlier, and it completely zapped the internet out. So I'm here for now. The weather here, Heather was just asking, man, it's been nuts. It has been purely insane. Tornado came through on Friday night. Luckily, it wasn't in Prestonsburg or anything, but I don't know, man. The cicadas and all that, like, it's scary. It's almost like end of days weather.
It is scary, dude. I've talked about this before. I don't know if it's my old age, but dude, when you own a house and shit like that, like wind is like my fucking I'm like so scared of wind. Every time it gets windy out, I'm looking out the window. I'm like, oh please God, don't fall in my house, please. It's like I always expect the worst. When you're a little kid, it's windy out. You're like, yay, wind, and you're like letting it blow you around. Now I'm like, holy shit, like trees, please stay in the ground right now.
I don't remember
freaky,
wind.
Man.
I don't remember wind like this when I was a kid. It's been bad, but I'm good now. I don't hear it as much as I did earlier, so maybe it's passed us by. We can pray for it.
Good. I'm glad you're here. Like I said, we wanted to talk to you guys tonight. We got some big news that we want to talk about a little bit later. We have some unboxings we want to talk about. We want to do this kind of a simulcast at Pit at Night and Rad Up All Night with me and CK from Dead Pit Radio. And guys, thank you for everybody that's hanging out with us tonight. We'll get to the chat as we go, but you're super appreciated into this chat now. Thank you guys as well. We don't want to take a ton of time just in case the weather over there in Kentucky gets a little worse here. So we got some Anchor Bay unboxings to do. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 titles to talk about. What do you got?
Like 3 different packages here.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll get to kind of talk about that too, because like you and I both, I think it was when we were on with Christian, like that kind of rejuvenated my Anchor Bay buying even more. But like to me, it's more fun going and getting some deals on some of these older titles on DVD, stuff that I never did pick up back in the day. than buying, a lot of this new stuff.
It is crazy because I'm kind of in that same rut right now. And I guess if you call it a rut, it's like I'm looking around and I'm like, man, I would love to just kind of round out the collection of like DVD or VHS or stuff that I've always kind of wanted that maybe I couldn't afford. It was just too hard to find at the time. People don't realize like even during the DVD collecting days, there was a lot of titles that were just hard to come by. Like we didn't have all the access that we do now. Sure, eBay was there, but it was like not like it is now, right? So I can remember certain things like The Guardian, Madman, like some of these titles from Anchor Bay that were just like, holy shit, I'll never find this thing. Midnight Hour, which is still probably one of the rarest DVDs of all time from Anchor Bay Entertainment. So it was a crazy time back then, which again has gotten a lot easier because a lot of these movies have now been re-released on better formats. So it's like, shit, I can go back and kind of round out with some of these harder to find titles from back in the day, mostly for nostalgia purposes, mostly for horror physical media history purposes. That's what I'm kind of calling it now to make myself feel a little bit better. But yeah, you can score some good deals on some cool, epic prints, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And hey, man, the prices on some of this new stuff too it's getting kind of ridiculous, right? 70, $80 for one movie. Come on.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit tough, and I get it, right? Like some people will come to the defense of, hey, do you remember when VHS first came out, or you remember when lasers come out? Like shit was expensive, and that was years and years ago. I get it, but like we're not in the beginning stages of this format now. Like this is just more or less because price of everything's higher, and we're getting all these super duper cool editions, which I do appreciate, and those are actually some that I still try to buy, but when you start adding all these things in, the price ends up going a little bit higher. Do I think we need pins and art cards? No, but that all increases the price of some of these things. But I've definitely taken back a lot of what I'm purchasing now, and I'll talk about that more on my channel at another time. I'm going to be doing something with Ken tomorrow, talking about that kind of stuff. But yeah, going back and buying some of these old physical media releases that we're going to talk about tonight, just to add to the collection, is done because it's stuff that we've wanted, and it's done for another reason, which we're going to talk about a little bit. But guys, hit the like button. I see you guys saying that. Thanks, Mel.
Yes, the audio a little bit better. I had to turn my volume up there. I don't know if the storm did anything to it or what, but I turned it up a little bit. Let me know if I'm still coming in low.
Turn it up. And we're doing another show together this week too, right? Thursday, man. Shit, I got a busy week right now.
Yeah, man. We got Dawn May on tomorrow as well. And Vinegar Syndrome on Thursday. Friday Night Lives on Friday. So I'm not going to be on that one. I think we're going out of town for the holiday weekend, but lots of stuff, man. Always lots of stuff.
No, it's crazy, man. I mean, life goes by daily like this now. As a kid, it was like you felt like every day was super long and stuff. But guys, there's a lot of people in the chat right now. I can't even keep up. So
yeah, 128. Do you like the new StreamYard finally added? It only took 5 years for them to add the live chat on the screen.
Yeah, so
it's a simple thing, but I don't know. It wasn't simple for them to do. But thanks, guys. We've got over 120 plus people in here, so definitely thumbs up on both channels. Subscribe to both channels. There's tons of content on both channels. Different content. We are doing the multi-stream tonight. Anchor Bay unboxing, and a little bit later on, sometime during the show, we got some news to discuss, an announcement, if you will.
I'm afraid we've got some rad news.
There you go.
All right, so I really want to get to the chat, but I want to get all the important stuff out of the way first to make sure his internet stays active, and then when we're done, I can kind of hang around here and play with the chat if he gets kind of booted out. But let's go into some unboxings, or let's go into what we kind of picked up over the last couple weeks. All of my stuff is DVD. All of it is old school DVD, and I can kind of talk a little bit about each one. So I don't know if you want to go back and forth, man. I have a bunch I can talk about first, and then send it to you, and then come back to me.
Yeah, we can go back and forth. It sounds like you may have a couple more than me, so if you want to go
Yeah.
ahead and start, yeah, and I
I'll
can
throw
go.
the two up there that I actually found at the thrift store. My thrift store kind of sucks. Like I barely get anything good there, but sometimes I'll come across some stuff. This one I didn't own. Like I do own this from Anchor Bay, on the double, like on those thick boy boxes or whatever. But I didn't own this version of it, so I figured, it was like $1. I'll grab it to add to the collection. And that's Manhunter. I know this movie's kind of hard to come by in general
Oh, yeah.
now. Like, but I didn't have this edition. I only had that thick edition. So this one,
You had the Fat Boy.
I had the Fat Boy. Yeah. But I saw this one at the thrift store, and I always look for that little boat right there on the bottom when I'm thrifting to see if I can come across anything cool.
Most of the time, it's like a fucking workout DVD, though.
Yeah. I found a lot of Thomas the Tank and shit, too, I found. I was like, Anchor Bay was doing a lot of Thomas. But yeah, when it comes to horror, I was like, oh shit, I don't have this version. So I picked it up. Love the movie. Manhunter's like a freaking great movie. Didn't have this version here. And then this one's interesting, man, because I didn't own this. I'd never seen this. And it was one of those ones that I picked up and I was like, fuck it. Like this might be pretty cool. And it's The Mirror Cracked. It's an Agatha Christie movie, and it's got Angela Lansbury is the main star of this. So if you like Murder, She Wrote, this is an Agatha Christie joint. It's got the little boat at the bottom. Look, you get the boat. This is an old school one.
Oh,
right?
wow. What was the year on that when they brought it out? It had to be like an early one, judging by the
No,
back
not
of
really.
it.
2001. I mean, I
Okay.
guess. But I've never seen this. I don't know if this will ever get another release. Guys, if you're like, oh, Kino did that, tell me. I have no idea. But I've never even heard of this movie. Have you?
No.
So
That's
this
a
could be
new
like
one.
its one and only physical media release for all I know. The Mirror Cracked. So had the little boat on it, didn't own it, saw Angela Lansbury, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab this thing and check it out. I do like some Agatha Christie stuff, like 10 Little Indians or whatever they want to call it now. Then There Was None or whatever. Like I do dig that movie quite a bit. So I'm hoping that I will actually like this one.
Yeah, it's got Angela Lansbury. What's not to like, man?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
There was, and I do this at Goodwill, and I haven't found anything extremely odd by doing this lately, but one that I found not too long ago, and I get these blank tapes, like if it's some sort of home recorded tape, especially if it doesn't have anything on it, if it's just got like, if it's totally blank, or it's just got a label that doesn't have any distinctive writing on it or whatever. And
You don't know what the hell you're going to find on that thing.
to me, it's worth like $1.50 or whatever it
Yeah.
is just to see. And it was a stage play that Angela Lansbury was in like the mid 80s with all the commercials and everything. So that was pretty cool. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Now, how weird is that? So it was the play version of it with Angela Lansbury.
That is wild, man.
Yeah.
We got
Ooh,
super chat coming
super
through.
duper chat.
Yo, what up, Cody? One half of the Rad Dudes. Cody at Doodle Loves Movies. Go check out Cody. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, man. He says, what's up, everyone? Don't forget to roundhouse kick the like button for Garrett. Then go to the Dead Pit channel and give them a little tickle on their like button.
Tickle it like it's a nut sack, baby.
So thank you, Cody. Appreciate that, man.
All right, here's the deal with this. This is kind of a surprise to me too, because these were crazy cheap on eBay, and there was no photo. I just went by the UPC code. It said it was in very good condition, at least, like all these. We'll see if they're lying or not. So, yeah, it's kind of a mystery on what I'm going to get. But sometimes you'll get pretty good surprises. Sometimes not.
Surprise,
We'll see.
surprise.
Ooh. All right, yeah, this is not too bad. There's a little bit of a sticker residue on the front of it, but what this is the Rookie DVD
I like rookies.
of Day of the Dead.
Damn. Dude, hell yeah, man. That's an early one. That's before that yellow one. The Rookie.
The Rookie. Yeah.
Guys, that's another thing too. We're creating that, and you're gonna hear more about this. We're gonna start focusing on like special editions, like the rookie, right? Like we're gonna take this into the collecting business.
Look
Got
at
the
that.
rookie
Has
right
the
there.
insert and everything.
Ooh,
Man.
what's the disc like? You're gonna get that. You should get that rookie if the disc is mint. You gotta get that graded, bro.
The disc looks mint to me. The poster art on one side there.
Wow, it's complete,
Chapter
baby.
selection. So, heck yeah.
Damn.
See, I think this DVD was like 98, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice, dude. I don't have that one. I've only got the yellow one. I need that.
Yeah.
that rookie
I'd
joint.
never actually seen this one before either in person. So there must have been like early on, they may have not made many copies.
Then there has to be a couple days because I think my uncle's got a Day of the Dead that's kind of like the one with Bub, but it's not the yellow one with the flap. It's almost like a regular disc. Can I help you with something?
I can't say that.
We got another super chat in the house. Mike, what's up, man? Angela Lansbury was my Pam Anderson, if you know what I mean.
Really? I mean,
What is that? Let me ask you this. What's the first thing you think of when you hear Murder, She Wrote? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Anything? Oh, Christ. Are you frozen, bro? No! Wes is frozen.
am I back?
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Woo!
Uh-oh. And guys, in the chat, I see you here, but we're going to try to get through this quick, tell you the news, and then Wes is probably going to bounce, and I'll talk to the chat because I want to his internet.
I mean, I'll
is back
stay here
to
as
weather.
long as I can, right?
Okay.
But bad storms, yeah. But hey, man,
So
I'm
people
pretty
don't
happy.
feel like we're recognizing them in the chat. I see you. We love you, but I want to try to get this moving because his weather is bad tonight.
Yes, and this is a flipper disc, but there is behind the scenes footage and a theatrical trailer, so there are some special features on it. Right? I actually really like that cover.
It's really cool. I that's not one you see often.
No,
Is
And I
that your
did-
is that your mystery box?
well, I've actually got a couple more, but I had the Halloween one here somewhere, but I may not have. I don't know what happened to it, but I did get the original. I already opened it though. The rookie Halloween DVD as
Dude,
well.
I've been looking for that, man. That's hard to get. I thought I had it, but then you're telling me that wasn't it, and I was like, shit. And then you sent me the picture. I'm like, God damn it, it isn't the one I have. How many Halloweens did they do?
It's very confusing. Very confusing. So the original Halloween DVD was 97, I think. And then they had that lenticular one that came out in like 99 that had the limited edition and they had the standard edition. And then from there, it gets really freaking confusing because they have the television cut edition. They have like 25 years of terror version, 25 anniversary, 30th anniversary. It just goes on and on and on.
It's crazy. We'll definitely kind of have to touch upon that in the future. But speaking of Halloween, I might as well show the next one I got. Now, these next, no, not all of them. This one, I'll talk about this Halloween. Sealed, baby. Sealed with the Best Buy sticker. Do you remember when they did this slip?
Yes.
Remember that, dude? So I never owned that because I'd already had so many editions of Halloween at the time. I passed this by, but I always remembered that cool lenticular kind of
You want me to
slip
tell
there.
you a
It's like
funny story?
hologram. What?
I want to tell you a funny story.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it.
So we had a giveaway for Halloween DVD, for that Halloween DVD, right? I kept the slip cover to put it on my copy and just gave because it's the same DVD.
Yeah. It's
I thought that was so cool, especially at the time, you know.
look at that though. Even the eyes is super orange like that. So yeah, definitely a cool addition. This one, when did this come out? I can't even see when this one was
Thinking like
released,
maybe 2008, 2009, maybe.
But what's cool about this, man, is not only does this have that really cool slip, right? This is sealed. Now I'm like, do I open this or do I not open this? I mean, I don't need to open it, but it's got the Best Buy sticker here, but dude, right here, this little sticker, it says exclusive Rob Zombie Halloween movie cache inside. That's pretty sick.
Mine,
It's
I don't
like-
think mine has that. No, it doesn't have the sticker.
So I think that was like a Best Buy. Yeah, it's a Best Buy exclusive. It says right on the top, Best Buy exclusive. So what a cool sealed mint slip with that Halloween cache. Like a part of me wants to get in there and frame that Halloween cache and put it on my wall somewhere, because that was just shit they used to do back then that they don't do anymore.
It's different
'Cause it-
studio too, right?
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
It's very weird, right? So inside here is like, and these tickets or whatever, it looks like a movie ticket, and it probably has like a really cool like Halloween logo and all that stuff for Rob Zombie. So it's one of those things where it's like, man, I want to get in this to get those things, but I don't want to open this at the same time.
So if that was Rob Zombie's Halloween, then that was 2007. That's
Okay,
a pretty
so I guess that
sweet
makes sense.
slip cover for 2007.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, in my opinion, one of the most iconic Anchor Bay Halloween editions, just by this alone, because that's why I looked for it, because I always said to myself, oh, remember I wanted that cool slipcover one and I passed because like 3 other editions came out around that time, but I got it, and I got it on eBay for a really, really good price.
Yeah. No, that's definitely that's a cool one for sure. I had no idea about the sticker. How many more do you have? I've got a couple more packages.
3.
All right. So I think I know what one this one is. I think this one had a photo. So it should, well, I say that and it'll probably be like all the hell. But this was one that was on my list for a while. With these, I want to get these at under $10. Like that's kind of my deal. Each one of them under $10. And
Wow, you're better than me. Mine's like 20 and under rule over here.
if you put something on a save search, eventually you'll find it. Like you may be waiting a while, but and I do have like a ton more on save searches. But this was the version of this movie that I wanted to own, and I think it's going to be a fun one to talk about at some point in the future. And it's a weird one, man. I haven't seen this in many years, but check this out. Return
Oh,
to Oz.
dude, I don't have that from Anchor Bay. I have it on Disney or some shit, but that's sick, bro.
Yeah, look at that. I didn't even know Anchor Bay did this one up until I started searching for it.
I did, and they also did Watcher in the Woods and A Thick Boy too.
Holy shit, dude.
So
This is really cool. So it's got a little index card. All of the goodies are in it. So look at this. This is a postcard. Return to Oz. Hell yeah. You got to
That
make
is-
sure it's complete when you,
it's complete for sure. Nice.
I don't know,
Don
I don't
Omega,
know.
that's a good point.
And the insert and all that good stuff. Yeah, it looks like it's in really good shape. And I wonder what year they did this, because I wasn't aware of this one at all.
It's got to be early, man, because I have a Disney one. And I'm
99
sure-
it says.
And like I said, they did Watcher in the Woods as well, which has been on kind of my save search for a while. They did a thick box. They did, I think, just a standard. But that's another Disney one. Between the two, they went right back to Disney.
I think Something Wicked This Way Comes is another one they did that was Disney.
Oh yeah, they did do that one. Yep.
Yep. But Fairuza Balk, yeah, this is right around the same time as The Worst Witch, I think. But yeah, that's one that I haven't seen in many years, and I've been wanting to revisit it. And I was like, let's get this version of it.
No, that's the classic. Right? That's probably the rookie version right there.
The rookie DVD, I'm sure, because this was 99. This was very early on. What were you doing in 99, Garrett?
I was in high school, and I was starting a DVD collection. I just got my DVD player. I remember snagging Fright Night, Exorcist, and Scary Movie, I think, was one of the early ones I snagged too. And then I was really starting to kind of get into the DVD aspect of collecting after I, around 99, I'm pretty sure. I was doing a lot of music in 99, a lot of CD collecting as well in 99. So that was a huge collection for me is music. And then I was really getting into horror in 99. I was getting into it hard and heavy, doing a lot of renting, finding out about these movies. But this next one I want to talk about is another exclusive, similar to this Best Buy exclusive Halloween. Now, I did a video on this not too long ago, and it was one of those like, oh my God, I got this in my collection, but unfortunately it wasn't the edition that I really wanted, but it was one of those ones where it's like, at least I had it because it's not easy to find. So Phantasm had an edition, which this went to different stores, but Circuit City, you can see that sticker right there. Circuit City had an exclusive. Circuit City exclusive Phantasm poster inside, 1 in 7 signed by Don Coscarelli. These were limited, man. Like it was hard to even find this sticker at the store. Like each store probably got, I don't know, a couple. And I ended up buying one on eBay relatively cheap with the sticker. Had the poster inside, poster wasn't signed. Well, I found one with the signed poster. So if I open this up, you got the disc inside here. You got the poster in there. And we got
very cool, yeah,
the Coscarelli auto in here. So this was super hard to get back in the day when this
I wonder how many he signed.
I don't know. I wish I would know the number. I wish they had the number of like how many were even made.
They should have numbered them. That would have been really cool.
But what's pretty pathetic now is I have this. I have this without the signature on the poster. Somebody, after I did that video, sent me this with just the regular version, not the Circuit City, with Coscarelli's autograph on the slipcover. They got it straight from Anchor Bay. Somebody worked there.
It was probably like a contest giveaway thing.
And then I have just the regular slipless version of this from back in the day. So I literally have, and dude, talk about me busting people's balls. You buy the same shit twice. Dude, I have like 5 of these.
Man, I remember when that edition came out. And this may have been one of the later Anchor Bay releases that has the OG logo that we all know and love. Right? But yeah, that was a big release when it came out. Like me and Uncle Bill were hopped to the max over that one. Love Phantasm.
Yeah, Anchor Bay had some different tiers, right? Like the little boat, then you had the DVDs, then they started to do some special editions with like different, like we said, the Dawn of the Dead had like a different type of setup. It wasn't just a straight DVD. But then you started to know when they started to get a little bit bigger because they started doing slips, and they didn't do slips for a long time. So like these two were still the old boat, but they both had slips, Halloween and Phantasm. So they started to kind of upgrade their stuff into things like slip covers or all these different kind of editions. They were some of the first that were doing this kind of stuff back then.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking what, 2007, 2008, which Jesus Christ, we're close. We're itching up on like 20 years ago.
Now the sad part is, bro, do you not feel like it's that long ago? Like in my head, 2008, I'm like, it's not that far away. It wasn't that long ago, but it literally is almost 20 years. Like that's how crazy that is.
Well, it is crazy to look at some of these early Anchor Bay titles too. Like they were coming out with stuff in the 90s, 97, 98. And I'm like, it just seems like the world wasn't ready for this sort of stuff then. I guess Best Buy had these DVDs as well, but yeah, I didn't even get a DVD player until like the summer 2000, I think.
You're right, and it was like what the thing with Anchor Bay was doing was they were creating this for the collector, the horror fan, and the horror collector before that kind of term was as popular as it is now, right? Like I felt like I was one of one walking around Best Buy getting all these like exclusive editions, and I'm there on a Tuesday snagging all this stuff off the shelf, these exclusives. Then I'd go to Circuit City, get their exclusives, and I felt like I was just the only one doing this. And then obviously now you see like, holy shit, like they were so far ahead of the game. Unless having something like this platform, you start to meet all these like-minded people that you just didn't know, at that point. None of my friends were doing this. So yeah, great times though.
Yeah, it takes me back there to. I was part of a very early community online that was the horrordvds.com message board. And it's very similar to like what we're doing on Discord now or the Dead Pit message board back in the day. And that's really where I heard about a lot of these releases. So, I had the internet starting around the late 90s. I think I found that community before I even got a DVD player, just looking up movie reviews and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, the internet definitely feeds your addiction, one thing or another. Yeah. Luckily, it's just DVDs and movies.
We had
stuff.
message boards. I mean, like I said, I was hanging around the Dead Pit message boards, but I was very quiet. I was like a silent stalker in there, seeing what everybody was talking about, seeing like these different editions. And there was some people I'd reached out to early on. Like I was talking to Piz or really early, like through Facebook and showing him editions and sending each other stuff. And he was an early one that I connected with. B Junior was another one I think was part of that I was connecting with. Like there was a group of people that I was connecting with at that time that were really into this stuff. And it's wild to even be on here right now because I was just listening to you guys from New England as you guys are down in Kentucky every single week and hearing what you guys have to say about certain titles and stuff. So it is just wild how the world kind of turns like that. Now we're here doing this.
Yep. The world changes, but at the end of the day, at the heart of it all, it doesn't change that much.
Mr. Bombastic knows. He goes, I was terrified of the message board. You had to be on. He goes, 100%. It was a wild time in there. So that's why I kind of because I worked a lot. So I would always just kind of creep in there, see what's going on, and then get back to work. But it's true. It was wild in there.
It was the wild, wild west of the internet then, man, for sure. Like you could get away with a lot more on the internet back then than you can now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Patrick Farmer, man, which we met Patrick, I think, for the first time at like one of those Fright Night Film Fest shows, like 2007, 2008, something like that. Yeah, it's just crazy, like some of the relationships you've had with people for that long. It's like nuts to think about.
What are you going to call him? Patrick the Farmer?
He is the farmer. You're getting your farmer trading cards.
You get your Patrick Farmer trading cards.
You can bet your bottom dollar we're talking to Don May about that guy tomorrow.
You got it for sure.
That's a must. I've got one more package here, though.
All right.
And this is a box set. I did pay more than $10 for this box set, right? And this is a box set I didn't even know exists, really. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool, because one of these movies received a big special edition 4K that recently came out. Anchor Bay did this 20 years ago on DVD.
What you got over there?
Set. So let's crack it open and see if I lucked out on, because they were all using slip covers like Scream Factory used now, like the cereal box slip covers back then. Yeah. So it may not have. Holy shit. Okay. Somebody took pretty good care of this. I don't know if the packaging did it well, but shipping, but this still has the original cellophane on it. It has been opened. Wow. Okay. The is that the cover? The Jello collection.
I don't have that.
Yeah, the Bloodstained Shadow, Case of Bloody Iris, and Short Night of Glass Dolls, and who? The question is who saw her die? Yeah, all Anchor Bay titles.
I had dude, I just watched Short Night of Glass Dolls like yesterday for the first time. I didn't even know anything about it. And then everybody's like, oh, if you like that, get Bloody Iris. I didn't even know that box existed, dude.
Wow. Me either. No, I was just searching for stuff, and has the original cellophane on it, and they've taken pretty good care of it. And yeah, I think I'm going to go tonight and just buy some more stuff from the same eBayer.
Who is it?
I did get the Halloween one too, but like I said, I misplaced it. But yeah, it's in good shape as well. So I'm gonna look. It looks like they've taped the. No.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
What's funny is everything that we're talking about, like we just blind bought some stuff and like it's all different shit.
Yeah, insert and everything in there.
Wow.
Very cool. I'll have to show this to Dirk because he is like the Giallo guy. But yeah, this was a set from Anchor Bay. Really didn't do a whole lot of box sets.
Well, wait a minute here. I don't know about what is this? Who said that?
2002.
Jason said, "Did we get a Stephen King Anchor Bay?" I don't even recall that. Do you?
Children of the Corn was in it. Maximum Overdrive. What else was in it?
Man, I have those, but I don't know I don't have them in a set.
I didn't have that, but yeah, I kind of remember it. What was the other one? There's 3 of them, right?
Let me see if there's anything over here. Anchor Bay. Did they do some? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what it could have been.
Creep Show 2. Okay, so that's not. Yeah. But yeah, man,
Now,
I'm shocked that this is in that good of a condition. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know that existed. That's wild. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
Can you talk?
2002.
Can you promote that one more time in the Dusty Rhodes impression? Jonathan would like to hear that.
Well,
one.
Jonathan, baby, I normally don't do requests, but tonight is the best of night because we got big announcements and discussions, baby. We've got the Yellow Collection from Anchor Bay, the Bloodstained Shadow Daddy, Case of the Bloody Iris. Who saw it die in a short night of glass dolls? Fired up a Starcade, baby.
Jackson says I should be Sapphire. Did she even ever say anything? I don't
Sweet Sapphire. Hey, Hacksaw, you think Sweet Sapphire, baby? I've been looking all over the place. Let me tell you something, Gene.
She was with the $1 million man back there.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I've been looking high and low for Sapphire. I don't know where she at.
Well, I think I saw her get in the limousine of the one and only Ted DiBiase. All right, one of my
Hey,
next
Roxy,
ones.
you think Sweet Sapphire, baby?
Looks like she's gonna beat the shit out of you. Oh my god. This was you told me to, man. Sealed though, so I gotta open it with the slip, baby.
Ooh, yeah.
Lightning bug.
Lightning bug.
I got that
Robert
lightning
Green
bug.
Hall's biopic, baby.
All right, so this was I've never seen this. This was you told me to find this. I got the slip. I got it sealed. I assume I'm gonna have to open it. Look, it's got the bug.
It's the bug.
I didn't own it. Never heard of it.
This is
Tell me about
Robert Hall's debut movie. It's kind of a biographical. It's about his life. And the same guy that did Laid to Rest later on. But I think this was a year or two before Laid to Rest got made. Not a strict like horror movie per se or anything, but it's very, very well done. It's the plot and the storyline is so good that they could, like Hollywood, I mean, they'd probably ruin it, but it's a good story. I think that it's one that somebody could remake and it could possibly be a big hit. But yeah,
You said this is the only way to get it, really, right? Like you don't have an upgraded. Do they have an upgraded version of this?
You may want to ask somebody in the chat. I'm not aware of it, if it had a Blu-ray or anything, but Anchor Bay, that DVD was like, what year was that? Like 2000 and
Still got the old logo on it, so it's 2004.
Holy shit, okay. So yeah, that one was quite a bit before Laid to Rest. But, yeah, he had since passed away, unfortunately. Really talented guy, makeup effects guy too. But yeah, that's a killer movie, man.
Yeah, now you got anything left? I have one more. It's actually not Anchor Bay, but it's something I'm gonna talk about on the channel.
I'm all out. I did actually order another one, but I think that it went out of stock and they refunded me. I was hoping they just refunded me out of the kindness of their heart, but I was really looking forward to that one because it was Invaders from Mars, the Toby Hooper one. But I'll have to get that at another day, I guess.
Well, the last one I'm going to talk about is it's another one I got sealed. Now, I'm not going to open this, but this is an edition that I'm going to talk about because I have a backstory about this edition along with something else. And I know a lot of people like when I get into physical media stories and history regarding this release, along with another really cool release. But I do own this, but I got it sealed for a really good price. And this is a real badass edition, man. And it's actually just kind of, it's newsworthy right now because it's got some talks going on, but this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre first edition for that 2003 remake. This came with like this thing here is like tin. It's like a tin
It's like
piece.
a license plate almost.
Yeah,
like the same material.
And it's got the Walmart tag on it still. This one's got the thing Platinum Series 2 DVD set, removable metal plate, evidence kit inside, deleted scenes, documentaries, and more. This is a
ban
sick,
Garrett. What? No, can't ban him.
This is a sick edition, dude. So I wanted to get this in nice condition because this is its rookie right here, baby. And a lot of people are talking about this movie right now, and I always liked this movie a lot, actually. I know Wes and I don't agree on that, but I was always a big fan of that movie, and I'm going to be talking about that and another movie on a video coming up very shortly. So I wanted to make sure I had this as well to kind of showcase. I do have an opened edition that I can pull apart and show you all the goodies in there, but saw that for a killer price when I just happened to look for it. And man,
I had that edition too back in the day when it came out. Funny thing is, like, mine came with two different plates. Like, it's the same plate. There's two of them. So I don't know if the machine just grabbed one more than it should have. But be honest with you, I mean, I'm a huge OG Texas Chainsaw guy, and I would have been fine had they never made another Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. But to be fair, there are worse Texas Chainsaw movies than the '03 version. But still, man, Leatherface uses a sewing machine in this movie. Who greenlit that? Like, I couldn't imagine. I guess Michael Bay just insisted. He's like, he's got to have a sewing machine.
Oh, this is how Andrew Bernarski slams the door. How I slam the door.
He's got an old school Singer sewing machine from like the 30s or something.
Oh my god!
But,
so that's kind of our pickups. Now, why the hell are we doing unboxings of all these old Anchor Bay titles? I mean, Jesus, we should be talking about the brand new 4K steelbooks that are coming out, but we're not because we have a little bit of news. We talked to the folks at Anchor Bay, and we want to announce that myself and CK are going to partner up for a brand new podcast. Wes, what do we got?
Oh, we're going to get we'll just show them.
The Anchor Bay Archives podcast. We got the go from Anchor Bay themselves. It's going to be really good for brand awareness, going back in time and talking about these editions in long form, doing things like history of, every Halloween edition that Anchor Bay put out, digging deeper into these old school editions. And not just that, but the people in part of Anchor Bay now do some appearances talking about some things, getting people to do interviews that were involved in Anchor Bay during its heyday back in the day, getting them on the show, talking about their time at Anchor Bay, maybe some of these cool additions that they had parts in helping create, some maybe like these tin cases and stuff like that. And also too is doing episodes where we have other old school Anchor Bay collectors from all over the world come on and showcase their collection. So it's going to be cool, man, to go back in time. And I did a show like this on my channel called Anchor Bay Archives. That's where the name kind of stemmed from. We were talking about it, and everybody kind of was on board with making this podcast and video form. So you'd watch it like this, and then Wes is going to take it out to the audio world.
To Spotify and Well, I always want to say Stitcher, but unfortunately, Stitcher is no more. Rest in peace, Stitcher.
Mm-hmm.
But this kind of stemmed from we had done, you did the Anchor Bay Archives videos. We had done a couple of different history of videos. We discussed doing, like we do the Scream Factory videos, like the year one, year two, whatever. But I think for us, we wanted to do something more special for Anchor Bay, and it's a when we were doing the last video with Christian talking about it, man, this is a time period that really takes me back there when I was just strictly a fan, a collector or whatever. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be something a little bit different. We're going to discuss the movies. We're going to discuss the releases, some of the controversies. I'm sure we can get Michael Felcher on to talk about a couple of these releases, but it's going to be deep dives into some of these individual releases as well. Like, hey, maybe a Return to Oz or something like that, or Lightning Bug. Some of the stuff that people don't talk about a whole lot. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, doing stuff like that, also doing, like we said, with some of these big releases, like Jesus, how many times they put out Halloween or Dawn of the Dead, but doing like a history of where we go through each release year by year that they put out under their umbrella and talk about the different ones, maybe doing a full episode on just those thick boxes, or we're going to talk about an episode just talking about the tins and all these other things like that. And if you guys are kind of interested in, an idea of kind of how we're going to do it, but obviously a little more long form, on my channel at Born to Be Rad, you can go to my playlist called Anchor Bay Archives. I already kind of started this years ago talking about these individual releases. Now we're going to kind of do it together. And as you can see, we each have different editions here to talk about. And like we said before, also bringing people on, that have some kind of history with that label and talk to them and other collectors that are big into this as well, and this old school Anchor Bay type stuff, and some of these old school collectors, and having them come on, showcase some stuff. I talked to somebody too that has a huge overseas collection that would love to come on and showcase it, which would be cool because we don't have a lot of that stuff. So to kind of go back in time and talk about this with Wes, because we both kind of lived it, in the same thing with me is it just brings me back to being that fan walking into these stores. Like I said, I was the only one that cared about this kind of shit and picking up some of these things for the first time. So you'll get a lot of memories as well with this. So it's just going to be cool, retrospective type stuff, and talking about the physical media and the movies and where are they now. And we're going to be talking about some that are still hanging around, just DVD. So it'll be cool to kind of deep dive into that. So yeah, excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And we're kind of getting together on exactly what the format will be and when we're going to start, what'll be the first episode and everything. So you guys can give us some feedback on it as well. We do plan on having just, some of our buddies on from time to time. I'm guessing somebody mentioned Christian. If he wants to come on and talk about one of his favorites, Uncle Bill, I'm sure. But yeah, Felcher he loves talking about this sort of thing too, because he worked with Anchor Bay for many years. That's how originally we first met Felcher, was at the Anchor Bay table many, many years ago. So he's always down to discuss some of these releases too.
100%. And they're asking, is this all leading up to me and you reissuing the Midnight Hour on 4K? Hey, man, never say never on anything, to be honest with you. I mean, this is a crazy world right now that I'm actually sitting here being like, hey, I'm going to do a podcast with one half of Dead Pit, which I was listening to in my basement 20 something years ago. Right. So anything can happen. Him and I are actually, we've been trying to uncover some of these Midnight Hour DVDs that could be hanging around somewhere too. So again, never say never. We're in contact with Anchor Bay. We're, like you said, Felcher, I mean, even Don May, who knows, Lustig, whatever. Like, there's possibilities.
What's insane though is lots of the heads of these boutique labels came from Anchor Bay. Like David Gregory started doing stuff for Anchor Bay. Don May Don may have not been one of them. I think he had Synapse right around the same time Anchor Bay started. But Bill Lustig is one. that was there too. So
Well, we're not going to say anything per se, but again, anything is possible.
anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation.
But it is funny that you bring that up. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, guys, thank you for being here to like kind of listen to that. Over 200 people in here to see us talk about old school physical media and, you know, what we're going to kind of work on the side to give you guys some fresh content and, you know, get some old school people in here talking, some new faces, and hopefully it's something that you guys listen to either on the audio or check out here on YouTube, which I guess will probably be some simulcast. Maybe we'll do some exclusives to each channel to kind of get people to bounce back and forth. I know we talked about one of our early episodes is going to do that.
I think we should do that. Like maybe go back and forth with the channels, and then if you want to subscribe to the podcast, you can do that. But yeah, we'll talk about it. I mean, we're still kind of going over everything. It is really neat that Anchor Bay Entertainment is back. You know, it's a new company. We did want to mention that, you know, they're kind of on board with it and everything. But we do want to make everybody aware this is mainly the old Anchor Bay. From time to time, we may, who knows what's to come. We may talk about some new Anchor Bay stuff. Both of those guys worked at the original Anchor Bay. But it is cool to have kind of their blessing to go forward with this. And, you know, both of those guys seem really cool. So
yeah, and they're down to come on episodes as well and chat and share and share it out to the people when episodes come out. So they've been really cool with all this. So we talked to them for a little bit on this. So yeah, it's going to help with brand awareness as well. And again, it's just going to take everybody back into a place that either you lived it or you didn't, and you want to know a little bit about what it was like collecting back in the early 2000s with stuff like that, because you know, everybody's talking about the current stuff, which is great, but also too, hardcore collectors, myself included, like to go back and learn about history of how things were, right? So it's going to be a different flavor, I think, for people, but hopefully you guys stick around and are on board with it.
And we're going to try to come up with things that definitely differentiate it from anything else that's out there. I think that's important too. And it's important to not talk about the same movies over and over again. Like that's one thing that I told Uncle Bill whenever we came back, COVID time. I was like, hell, let's focus on stuff that we never discussed. And maybe with you and I, we can talk about some of these Anchor Bay releases that don't get brought up as often. There's plenty of them, man. They released a ton of material over the span of like 10 years or so.
So we're going to do a Thomas the Tank episode maybe, or what?
Sure. Gallagher. Good Gallagher episode.
You know what's funny is someone actually said this to me on a video I just did on Instagram. They said, hey, was that the great, what the hell was it? Greatest American Hero box set or whatever? And I said, yeah, it was. It was like a big tin set. And I looked and I was like, holy shit, that was Anchor Bay that put that
Moonlighting Bulls was Anchor Bay.
Oh, yeah, dude, I think I have some of those. Yeah, I do.
Silk stockings.
Yeah, so, oh, dude, that's right. They did do silk stockings.
Yeah.
That is sick. But yeah, man, you seem good. Do you want to run through some of the chat quick?
Yeah, so far so good.
Right.
I think I'm all right.
All right. So again, everybody who's in here, what's up? If you want to start posting questions or anything now, I don't want to have to go all the way back to the top. Jackson Jack says he has Moonlighting. I do too. And I think it's the Anchor Bay ones. I remember it's like it would close and it would be like the clear stuff inside. I don't know if that's the Anchor Bay edition, but I do have some of those as well. Somebody said something about Cool Duder was going to do a podcast with Vinegar Syndrome. That's cool. You don't think that's real?
Good for them.
Sick, dude.
Hey,
Big
guys.
Money Mark in the house. Look at him. I was a stunt double for Punky Brewster before you got.
Is that right, Mark? Okay.
Oh yeah, 21 Jump Street had some DVDs. Cool.
Yeah, Anchor Bay did a lot of workout DVDs. Yeah, I see them all the time at Goodwill.
Now let me ask you this: would you get Hellraiser again on 4K if they found the deleted scene? Yeah, I would. I mean, again, I don't want to buy them all, but I would probably get the first one again if they gave us something like that.
Like an uncut version or something.
Trial of the Incredible Hulk. I do think I actually have that.
I have one Incredible Hulk DVD.
I
It's in
do
like
right
a
here.
digi pack thing or something. Yeah, the one I've got's in like a digipack or something. It's some other Incredible Hulk one.
But this one does have the Incredible Hulk Returns and the Trial of Incredible Hulk. So yeah, this is got that on there. Sick.
Anchor Bay did put out some Roseanne as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Halloween episode that would be perfect to do around Halloween for sure.
Yeah.
Here's a question. A-Dub says, dude, I am so out of the loop with this Vinegar Syndrome sale. Like, I have zero idea what's going on. I have no clue. I don't even know what editions they are. Is it VSUs, VSAs? I don't know. What do you know anything about this, Wes?
Yeah, I mean, one of them is, what is the other Romero movie? I know that's one of them. Fuck.
Romero? What?
I'm at a blank.
Bruiser? What could they be?
No, the
putting out?
one before Bruiser, it sucks. It's like not a good movie. Dark Half, that's it.
Oh, they're doing
they're-
Dark Half?
They're doing a 4K of Dark Half.
You don't like Dark Half?
I mean, it's okay. It's not one that, it's not one that I'm going to buy off of Vinegar Syndrome for $50 or whatever it is.
That's tough, man, because I like it, but it's like, dude, I've got the Scream Factory Blu-ray. It's fine.
Yeah,
see,
I've got
that's
the
tough.
Eureka Blu-ray, which is pretty much the same as the Scream Factory one, because you know how I am. I don't like to buy Scream Factory stuff.
You'll do it, whatever it takes to like go anywhere.
I'm waiting
You're like,
on
I'll
the-
go overseas and get like Eureka and shit.
I'm
Just
waiting
buy 'em.
on the 4K of the Bob set from Arrow Video. Yeah.
Oh my god. Jackson wants to know on what earth does Mark resemble Punky Bruce? I think you have to ask him next time.
Well, why do they look that different? What are you saying there?
Dave, actually, that would be a great question to ask Don tomorrow. But if you don't, stick around. I might have something on my channel, Black Roses related, and maybe you can get an answer for you. But Don May should know.
Yeah, stop by in the chat, ask in the chat, and I will definitely, because the chat's going to be insane like it is now. But yeah, I'll definitely try to ask him about that.
Noise Loop says, I'm on eBay right now browsing DVDs I need to buy. Now listen, as much as it's going to hurt us because we're going to have to buy content for the show, basically, like to go back, and if we come up with an idea of like, oh, let's try to find these editions so we can do the show, we're going to be purchasing some Anchor-based stuff, some Smolzo stuff. I think it would be really cool, and we've been saying this before. Me and Christian have been talking about this for a while, about the resurgence of things like DVD and all this other stuff, and maybe people will find more appreciation of it. And with the state of what physical media is now, where I know a lot of, I'm not saying it's bad, physical media is strong as hell right now, but there's a lot of re-releases that someone like me, I don't care about all of them. A lot of people aren't upgrading anymore. Prices have gotten more expensive. You see a lot of collectors kind of stepping back a little bit here. Even some of the biggest collectors that were going strong for the last couple of years are stepping back. With all of that being said, and I'm not saying anything negative about physical media right now because I want it to stay alive. I mean, obviously we're talking about this stuff, but as weird as this is, it would be pretty badass if something like this helped kind of recreate a market for some of these old movies, because no matter what you collect, I don't care if it's toys, baseball cards, or whatever, there's always going to be a market there. Things are always going to be considered valuable to the right people, but to create a market to kind of almost make these more collectible than they currently are would be kind of cool. Like, I look back and we've talked about this before. One of my favorite podcasts is the Matt Cardona and Brian Myers Major Wrestling Figure podcast. That podcast literally recreated figure collecting, like hardcore. And, all they did was have to talk about Hasbro's and Jack's for 4 episodes, and all of a sudden now the prices of those suckers are going way up online, and everybody's like, they're becoming valuable collectibles. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying it would be pretty neat if more people started to try to, look back and get some of these old school editions just based on maybe we talked about them that week or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Weston's got a point here too, and I was thinking about this. It's not about the movie anymore, really. It's not. Like, it's about upgrading your editions that you've already got. Most of these companies, they're all guilty of it. I'm not just going to pick on Scream Factory. Kino is doing it. Arrow is doing it. It's not fun going and rebuying everything that you already have, in an upgraded form. Who wants to do that? Is that really necessary for a lot of these films? What do you think?
I don't think it's necessary for a lot of these films. Not at all. I mean, some, but again, everybody's taste is very different. Like if all of a sudden we have somebody's, favorite movie is The Dark Half, then of course they should buy it. I like The Dark Half a lot. Will I buy it? I don't know. Because I do have that Blu-ray. I have to kind of see what they're going to offer me for me to make that jump. Something like that I ordered was The Nesting, right? It's not my favorite movie, but all I had is the DVD. But I think The Nesting's a fantastic movie and it looks great. But I said, you know what? I'll buy the 4K because I've only got this on a Blue Underground DVD or whatever. So I felt justified to do that. I'm not going to do that all the time, but for me, it's one of those things. It's like case by case scenario on a lot of stuff. We talked about this. Him and I just recorded a podcast about the new Mario Bava set from Scream Factory. People asked us questions about that. We answered them. And I'm kind of at a crossroads with that. Like a part of me wants it because I think it looks fantastic. The presentation, they're all housed together, which is really cool. But the problem is that I'm not the biggest Bava fan. I have all those Bava box sets all over there that have all these movies that are going to be in this set. I've watched each one of those once. Now, maybe going to this Blu-ray set would make me go back and watch them again. And maybe I'm like, oh, wow, I really love all these movies. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking like Bay of Blood, Black Sabbath, Black Sunday, Kidnapped. Like these are the ones that I remember. All the rest, I don't remember at all. So it's tough. $180 for a set. It's limited. That kind of brings me to be like, well, maybe I should get it because I don't want to have FOMO if I miss it. But it's like I've only watched those Bava movies once in 20 years. I don't know.
That would be a good show, though, man. We could go back and rewatch them on the DVD set. And there you go. Because
that's it. That's the rewatch right there.
100%,
though.
It's 13 movies in those two sets from Anchor Bay. All of those movies minus, House of Exorcism is in that Scream Factory box. So it's essentially those two sets minus one movie. So I thought that was kind of odd.
Yeah, for sure. So again, I'm on the fence about that Bava set because of those very reasons. If it was box set of a franchise that I watched all the time or something, that's different. But Jason asks if I have the WrestleManiac DVD or Rey Mysterio. I do, with slipcover, baby.
I have it as well. That was Rey Mysterio's uncle, right? That was in that, though, right?
Yes.
The original Rey Mysterio.
It was his uncle or his father, right? It's one of them.
I think
it's not Little Ray, right? No.
No.
I don't think Basket Case had an Anchor Bay. I believe that was Synapse, I think. Or something weird.
Something weird.
That's what it was. Masters of Horror will probably go into that. We've done that already, but it's always.
Well, we've still got. I don't think we ever did season 2. We did season 1, so maybe we can continue on season 2. Lots of stuff. Lots of show topics. I mean, this could go on quite a while.
Yeah, 100%. We just got to make sure that we're diligent with it. Because we're both so busy, right? So we got to make sure that we're as diligent with it as possible, and for you guys and whatnot. But it seems like a lot of people interested. We've had over like 200 people in here most of the time. But here's another, and this is another point when it comes to collecting, right? Do people still collect baseball cards? I always thought of that like a thing of the 80s. Now, I was a huge card collector in the 80s. My uncle and I were big into card collecting. When I got older, I thought to myself, dude, what the biggest sham ever was like, and scam was baseball. I'm like, we were buying those things at card shops. All the card shops had closed. The cards went down in value. I'm like, what a freaking weird hobby that was. Like nothing's worth anything anymore. But dude, cards are making a huge comeback. Those things are going for huge money now, like more money than ever before right now. And they basically went like this. They dipped for like 15 years. And now they're back on the rise to a point where, like, it's not just the old stuff anymore. Even these new cards are the ones everybody's going. They're doing TikTok breaks where they're opening packs and they're getting these signed cards and whatnot. Dude, wrestling cards are worth a shit ton of money to a point where him and I were gonna and Uncle Bill were gonna do a show opening packs of wrestling cards. I went to Target and Walmart; they're all sold out. You can't
find them.
I'm like, what
I've
the
looked
hell?
for a few weeks. Yeah, I've never found any.
They're all gone. Yeah. And then you go online and they're like, "Oh, we'll get you a pack for $30." I'm like, $30 a pack? Like, it's nuts, man. Like, cards is freaking weird. If baseball cards and cards in general, wrestling cards, people are selling hundreds of dollars of wrestling cards. Like, what's that one that someone pulled? It's like you get, it's like 2 of whatever, but it's like a Travis Scott signed WrestleMania card out of a wrestling pack.
That would immediately be going on eBay.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's going for hundreds of
Scott.
dollars. Yeah, but that's the thing. They're playing to the collectors now. They're having these signed cards mixed into this thing where we never saw stuff like that before.
Yeah, I wonder when it started like making a comeback, because yeah, for a long time there, that whole thing was like dead as yesterday, man.
Brutally dead. Like, yeah. I never in a million years would have thought that would be back ever.
Lots of people in the chat though, over 200 people in here. So definitely take the time to like both streams, subscribe if you haven't to both channels. Cause yeah, man, we're on a rocket ship, baby. We're getting ready to take off, yeah, with the Anchor Bay Archives podcast, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys. And if you guys missed, if you're just popping in now, definitely go back and watch the beginning if you missed the news and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, guys, we've been on this. Wow, it's only been an hour. I feel like we've been on quite a while, but we did the show before. That's probably why.
Yeah, it's closer to 2 hours, but I mean, I'm good. Somebody was asking about, I think it was Eli Ross Attorney, and we were just talking about this as well. The Arrow Jason 4Ks, dude. Like the packaging on that's great and everything. I've only watched the Jason Goes to Hell 4K. I want to do some comparison back and forth. I legit couldn't tell it was a 4K. I couldn't, but I want to go back.
I haven't watched mine, so I can't even comment.
Like, it is what it is. We'll see. I want to do a little bit more digging though in the review, and because I actually thought Jason Goes to Hell would look a bit better for some reason. I know Jason X is not going to be. I mean, that was just a very cheaply made movie. So. But yeah, anybody else in the chat, if you've checked it out, let me know what you think on it. But yeah, I was not impressed with that video quality on the 4K of Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Let me know what you guys think. Someone said, does anybody have the original Garbage Pail Kids cards? I don't, but I'm sure that those are worth pretty good money.
I don't have many. I have a couple of packs that I have on display up there. But yeah, those things go for crazy money, man. If you have like certain cards, first couple of series.
For sure. I mean, I have some Garbage Pail Kids cards, but they did like a horror line a couple years ago that I grabbed the whole set for. They're actually kind of cool. They would do like, Lost Boys and all this other stuff. Jackson Jack said something about Marvel cards. I actually have a whole set of the Marvel cards from when I was in like elementary school. Like I still have the complete set in a book. And I talked about this earlier that actually I didn't talk about it. This is on the other show we did. But if you guys who are watching, there's a lot of people, over 200 people. I'm going to promote this now. I just did a video I dropped yesterday that I was kind of proud of. It was something a little bit different. It was more of a gateway horror type video for me. Things from the video store that I had rented that became huge gateways for my love of the genre and 80s horror. So if you guys could go check that out on my channel, it's kind of like I dropped it and then it's almost like it's just a snail's pace. For some reason, it's not catching on. People aren't checking it out. But I thought it came out really well if you guys want to check that out. And it's going to be a precursor to another video coming out later this week about probably the biggest gateway horror thing in my whole life. And I showcase something, and it has to do with what we're talking about right now in the chat. So you guys might want to come back and check that out this weekend too. And I mean, I haven't recorded it yet, so I mean, I could do it live. I could do it on a video format. I think it would work either way. But Yeah, if you guys like Gateway, what gets people into horror, what got me into horror in the 80s and 90s, definitely want to check out that video I just dropped and stick around for the video coming this week because based on what we're talking right now, it made me want to just kind of plug it.
Cool. Anchor Bay also did Xena and Hercules, baby. I'm not getting those. That's not my thing.
Did you ever collect Beanie Babies? People want to know.
No.
Neither did I.
No.
Never did it.
I did collect comic books briefly. Like, you remember in the early 90s, comic books were crazy popular. Like the death of Batman, the death of Superman, and all that. Those comics are worth nothing. Nothing at all. Look some of those up. Like
really?
from that whole era.
Funny is it just that era? Because the comic books, I feel like, hold their value pretty strong. I never was a huge comic collector. I do have probably 30 books throughout the years, but I feel like
I'd say some of the older ones are probably, keeping their value. But like from that period when it was really, really popular, no, that stuff is worth nothing at all. Like the white Superman, like the when there a white Superman bag and there was a black Superman bag. I think the black Superman was like the death of Superman, and that one's worth just a little bit more than like Superman's Revenge or whatever the hell it was, the white bag. But they're neither worth much. Like back in the day, they were kind of sought after, but no.
I didn't have any Superman. I was getting into them when like Venom came out, so I have like a couple of the early Venoms and stuff like that. But they used to be like the comic shops, like at my mall and stuff. We used to go hang around over there. It was right outside the arcade. This is funny, big ideas, because again, I was a big card collector. I don't know. Did you ever collect baseball cards, Wes?
Yeah, when I was a kid, like that was my first big thing that I collected.
He says, I have a binder of Nolan Ryan cards. Remember Mother's Cookies cards? I didn't until you just brought it up. I don't remember what the hell was that, because I had like a Greg Jeffries Mother's Cookie card. What was that again? Was that just like I don't think it was like a brand, but like, sometimes like you'd buy like Post cereal and it would come with Post cards.
I remember the Post. There was Kmart
like
cards as well.
So I'm assuming this is probably something along those lines. Like it must have been, but I do remember the name Mother's Cookie cards. If you can tell me, big ideas in the chat, what those were exactly. It's so funny. I haven't heard that word in forever.
That doesn't ring a bell with me, but that's not to say if I was to see it, it could. But yeah,
You know what I used to always hate? Bowman. Remember that brand?
Right. OPC. That was like the
OPC.
Canadian tops. That shit sucked.
Used to go. We had a lot of card shops here. You?
Yeah, man. Like at one time, like there was even card shops here in Prestonsburg. Back probably the early 90s or whatever. That stuff was so popular. And like, I think again, much like physical media, the prices kept going up. And I think that people were just, they quit buying it because it got to be too expensive. Like, do you remember the Skybox was like the premium cards, and they would go up to like in the early 90s, $5-6 a pack, and I think that's probably what caused that stuff to die off.
You know what else I always was with cards? Like when I stopped collecting and I thought it was like this big scam, because it was one of those things where like they would predict who the next big star is. So you'd want to go and get the rookies and all this stuff. Then the guy ended up having a shitty career, and it was like, holy shit, his cards are worthless. Like, do you remember the guy Hideo Nomo was like the pitcher they brought in from Japan for like the Dodgers? There was a whole thing now where it was like the Beckett came out and it's like, you need to get Hideo Nomo. That's going to be the next big star. I remember my uncle and I running around getting all this dude's rookies. He ended up like not doing anything. And then like his shit was worth nothing. There's a lot of guys like that.
There was another guy that was like that for the Oakland A's. He was a rookie card. I think his name was like, was it Todd Van Winkle or something like that? Do you remember him in the 90s? Like the early 90s?
I'm trying to think.
Todd Van Pebbles or something like that. Somebody in the chat probably know. But he was like a big like rookie prospect.
Yeah, I can remember the name. Vance or Vaughn or Van Slyke or something.
It was Todd something.
Andy Van Slyke? Was that the guy?
Todd Van Poopel. There you go.
Was that his name?
I think it's Popple. Todd Van Popple.
Oh, no, I don't remember that. And that's another thing. So here's what's funny. I can't believe we're talking about this. Hideo Nomo Heat. Yeah. So Ken Griffey Jr. is my all-time favorite baseball player. I have a whole book of like every rookie card from all those years. I collected Griffey stuff for a long time, so much that for Christmas one year, I got a signed ball with like the certificate of authenticity. I still have it in my movie room. It was given to me as like my big gift on Christmas one year. I was obsessed with Griffey. And I remember my grandmother got me that Upper Deck rookie for my birthday. And I was like, holy shit. It was in like one of those plastics that you had to screw the screws to get it out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those things? So I still
shelf.
have it displayed. It was like my favorite card of all time. And they did a documentary on baseball collecting. And that card was like the most popular sought after card ever. That what happened was Upper Deck started continuing to put those out after 89, 90. They would slip them. They would send a bunch to like card shops. So they always had some on hand. So that card ended up being one of the most sought after cards ever, to basically almost like a common, because there was so many made. Like they
They're
would
still kind of
replenish
valuable
those
though, right? I think that one's still
I think
worth
they're a
it.
little bit valuable if you have like good, like, you know, like really mint corners and everything's kind of lined up. But like what a scam was that they were releasing this 89 Griffey like in 91. Like they were still sending them out in
There's
cases to like these card shops.
Couple of cards that I've always wanted. So if anybody out there has them, let me know. We can work out a deal. The Billy Ripken fuckface card.
I do too. I need
always
that
wanted
card,
that.
100%.
The other one was Mark Jackson and the Menendez brothers. The
Dude, I got it
basketball
right here.
card,
I have it right here.
which I don't think that one's as valuable, but it's just like it's so bizarre that exists. Yeah. Mark
Oh, you can't
Jackson
see
with
it.
the Menendez brothers in the background.
Shit, you can't even get a good view. But yeah, I have that, and I do need that Billy. That Billy Ripken is on a safe search on my eBay for years. And that was another thing I did during COVID, is I went back and started buying old cards of ones I always wanted. Like I got like a McGuire USA team one. I always kind of wanted that one. I do want a Ricky Henderson rookie.
Do you have a Jose Canseco autograph?
I have a Jose Canseco rated rookie, and it's in a plaque with a signed ball from Canseco. So yeah, I was a big Canseco guy.
His agent represents a bunch of those baseball players that actually sign through the mail. And it's really, really, like for Canseco, I can't believe he charges like $15 a card or something. So it's crazy cheap.
Yeah, because he's like, people don't want to touch the dude. It's sad, kind of. I mean, dude, did you watch that documentary on him where if he goes to a game, they basically tell him to leave? Like, it's fucking crazy.
No, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, he's so shunned by Major League Baseball. Nobody wants anything to do with him.
Is it
so
because
it's like
of the book or whatever that he wrote, like the tell-all?
Yeah. And the steroid stuff, and they took over his career, and it's sad. And you might be able to score his rookies. I think the rated rookie was the real good one that everybody wanted. You can still score those pretty cheap, all things considered. But that rated rookie was one of the top cards in the 80s for everybody that was going.
You're talking about the one with the black top at the A's, and then it's got the trophy or whatever in the corner.
Oh, no, not that one. That's a Tops. Where he's kind of sitting on the bench with the green suit on. Right. That's another good one, but the one I'm talking about is a rated rookie. It's kind of just his head, it's his face.
Oh yeah, it's got the stripes or whatever on the sides.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're talking about this shit.
I can't either. We lost about 10 people.
Fucking talking about baseball cards and shit.
The thing is, I know nothing about sports right now.
Evidently, though, they said the fuck face card is like $200.
It's still expensive, man. Trust me, I've been looking for it. Yeah. Still expensive. There was always like those weird cards. Remember the Juan Gonzalez, where he was like, his suit was on backwards, or they like took it like on a mirror image, or it was like an error card.
Right. I wonder if you can buy like the boxes of those cards, how much the boxes are, because that'd be a fun stream. Just each of us buy a box and see what we can
see if we can get that Ripken in there.
Yeah.
We'll be like, who the hell was this guy?
What is it, like 89 Fleer or something like that was the card?
I don't know, but if we can get a couple boxes for nothing, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that'd be a good one.
Remember there was serial killer cards, dude? They didn't give a shit, dude. They had serial killer cards, and they also had like Gulf War cards.
They had cards for about everything, really.
What?
Alf. Yeah.
Gulf War cards. Yeah, I have a lot of like those random one-offs, like
The old
Alf
wrestling cards
cards.
are worth big money too, man.
those classic ones and stuff. Oh yeah. And I remember I had those and like gave them away. I was like, nobody wants wrestling cards.
Yeah.
Remember the Stomp collection?
The Stomp.
WCW?
No.
Oh, the WCW had it was called the Stomp collection. It was WCW cards. That actually wouldn't be a bad set to try to locate nowadays.
I actually have the old the 91 WCW card. Those are worth like nothing at all. Those are killer to try to get autographed.
I think
through
those are the
mail.
ones. I think that Stomp collection, like 91.
Well, these are in the purple packs.
I think. Yeah. It says WCW in the white. Yeah. I think pretty sure that's the Stomp collection.
I didn't know they were called that.
I'm going to tell you right now, Dave, I agree. I hate saying this, but like, I like my baseball players to look like wrestlers. As soon as steroids left baseball, I was out. And it's not even the steroids. It was just the person. Like, I remember going to a bar here in my town or my state, and somebody be like, "Hey, look who it is." I'm like, I have no idea who that dude is. And they're like, "Oh, he plays for the Red Sox." I'm like, that guy plays for the Red Sox. He looks like he's like lives down the street and mows, like I see him mowing the lawn on Saturdays. It doesn't look like a larger than life guy like a lot of these dudes did when we were kids. There's a video that I watch all the time, I think talking about starting lineups or something. But like, if you look at that YouTube video, it builds these dudes up like they're larger than life animals. You know, the crack of the bat, you just see muscle as they're running and stuff. Like, they don't build people like that anymore. And they all had gimmicks. I have posters in my gym over here, like Ricky Henderson, and it said Man of Steel, and it's got him like with like looked like he was like a criminal. You know, it's like all these people had different names. The Rocket, Roger Clemens, his arm was like a rocket.
The Bash Brothers or whatever.
I have the Bash Brothers over there, but it was cool because they all kind of had gimmicks back then. Like, these dudes, as a little kid, felt larger than life back then. It was wild.
Yeah. No, I think the players back then too, like, I don't know. Like, I still watch baseball from time to time. But man, like, I went to a lot of the games back in the day, like in Cincinnati, the new Big Red Machine with the Bad Boys, freaking Norm Charlton and Randy Myers and Rob Dibble. Like, I could remember like every player that was on that 1990 Reds team. And I couldn't name more than maybe one or two players on the Reds today.
Is that who you like, the Reds?
Yeah.
I can remember that World Series versus the A's when the Reds won. It was like, they won or they lost?
They won. It was a sweep.
It was Sabo and Davis were all on the team and stuff.
Barry Larkin, Paul O'Neill.
Wild.
Yeah.
Did you ever get Sports Illustrated for kids? I did.
I
You
did.
cut out the cards and stuff?
The first issue was the one with Eric Davis on the front of it the first issue that I got or whatever.
Dude, that was...
Eric Davis was
fun
my
idea.
favorite when I was a real young kid. That was my favorite player. I have his rookie card somewhere.
It's a cool one to have. A-Dub says all is Bo Jackson. I don't know, are they? I have Bo Jackson was one of my favorite players too. I have a bunch of his rookies as well. But yeah, it's I don't know. I would take a look. You'd be surprised that these things are going up in price.
You don't hear anything about Bo Jackson anymore, though.
There's a cool documentary on him too on streaming. It's freaking fantastic. The guy was a beast, dude. Like, I've never seen anything like that. That guy walked around and would like just snap bats like they were fucking sticks.
Yeah.
Then there was one where he snaps it over the top of his head. I'm like, dude, what the frick? Like, that's insane to me to take a wooden bat and snap it over your head like that. Like, the guy was an animal. He's running up the wall to catch the ball. Like, do people do that kind of shit anymore? He was unbelievable.
Yeah. No, he was definitely an athlete for sure.
It was wild. But guys, I don't want to keep talking about this. We're losing people left and right here.
This was about baseball.
This is about Anchor Bay. This was about a new project that we're working on, and we want you guys to be along for the ride. It's kind of cool that him and I are doing this together. And then, of course, like we said, we're going to have guests here and there. You're going to see like Uncle Bill.
There's an Instagram page already. I don't think you've posted anything.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at that's what I wanted to talk about too. So here's the idea with the Instagram page, guys. So we're going to Instagram page at Anchor Bay Archives is the Instagram page. We just made it. But what I want you guys to do, anything Anchor Bay that you post on your Instagram or whatever, invite us to collab. I want to build that page with collaborations, like showing different editions. So when they pull up that page, it'll say like, Halloween, first Halloween edition Anchor Bay, and it's going to say Anchor Bay Archives collaborated with Dead Pit, right? So any of you guys can be involved in the page. If you post something Anchor Bay, we look at it, we approve it, boom, you're on the page with your edition, and you'll be tagged. So
It'd
I think
be really
it's a cool
cool
way to do it
for people in the UK as well.
100%.
Some of these UK editions that we may not even know about. Let us know.
Yeah, so if you guys are on Instagram, Anchor Bay Archives is going to be the handle, and anything Anchor Bay that you do, just collab it with the page, and your picture will go on that page. So I think it's going to be really cool to be interactive and really start seeing a lot of these editions that maybe we don't even know exist. Somebody tags it, hey, with an Anchor Bay edition from overseas, and also I'm like, oh my god, I never even knew that existed. I think it's going to be a cool way to kind of keep the name of this brand out there. So definitely find us.
Sure. Yeah, I think Vanderhoff has a ton of cool Anchor Bay stuff too, so he can be.
You just followed it too.
As well.
So thank you, dude.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but it's been fun, man. We will definitely keep you updated on the status of the podcast and maybe what the first episode will be. So stay tuned.
Yeah, man. You got anything coming up on your end?
Lots of stuff coming up. Tomorrow night, Don May Jr. from Synapse Films is coming on for the first time in a couple of years. Those shows are always chaotic and nuts, but get in the chat, ask your questions. We'll try our best. And then we're doing another big multi-stream on Thursday night with Planet CHH. Uncle Bill's going to be on here. Garrett, all on different channels, of course. Vinegar Syndrome, the halfway to Black Friday sale. So prepare for some disappointment.
I hope so. I hope for some eye-opening, like, whoa, holy shit moments, but there's so few and far between now. But man, thank you guys again for hanging with us tonight. It's been a great crowd. Like I said, if you're on my channel at Born to Be Rad, hit that like button. You go follow Dead Pit Radio and vice versa. Hit those like buttons on both channels. Super appreciative. If you think this was a cool episode, feel free to share it out to your friends. Follow us on the IG. And like I said, if you guys want to look at some Gateway stuff, I just posted a video that I don't think a lot of people have watched yet yesterday. So go back and check that out. It's about 15 minutes long. I think you guys will dig it.
Cool. So I guess I've got the outro on here, and we will catch you guys next time on Born to Be Rad and
deadpits.com.
I want all these people to click everything they're supposed to click.
You haven't been liking them, you haven't been subscribing to them, you haven't clicked the bell or notification or anything like that.
Folks, why don't you click the like button?
Do you hate us? Do you not want to see us succeed?
Why don't you click the heart button?
Is this something that you have against our particular show?
Why don't you subscribe?
You should click on one of them buttons right now if you want us to continue to breathe greatness into your life.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. You know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
Here's what other fucking Patreons do. They're like, hey, give us money and then we'll let you see a video early that we're going to release like a fucking week from now, and then that's all we're going to give you. Meanwhile, we have a literal jukebox full of songs, thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram and help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So Dead Pit on Patreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.